Welcome to the Fitness on Demand session on shoulder training. Today we're going to learn about training the shoulder. First and foremost, you have to remember that the shoulder region is composed of three sections: frontal delts, rear delts, and side delts. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're training all three heads of the muscle to make sure that you get proper development. All right, so we're going to step through how to properly train each of the three different regions of the shoulder. That way you can have a nice, round, perfect looking shoulder. All right, first up, I'm going to do a seated military press. I'm going to grab my dumbbell, arms parallel to the ground, and I'm going to press them directly up and above. Now make sure you don't drop the elbow back too far, because once again this will put unnecessary strain on your shoulders. Remember, make sure that you're keeping your core nice and tight. Notice that I have the bench all the way up to the 90-degree position. This is so that I can press my back into the bench and maintain proper form. And don't lock out at the top portion of the movement. All right, so I'm using the palms out grip, and this is the military press, seated. Now, the next movement that I'm going to do is also going to be seated. But this time I'm going to use a palms in grip. So palms are facing each other, and I'm going to still press the weights above head, not locking out the top. Now the cool thing about this movement is the fact that you'll work the frontal delts even more. Okay? And for some people, they're able to handle heavier weights using that palms in grip. All right? Now remember, these movements that I'm performing right now, I'm doing them seated, but you can also do them standing. And in addition, you could use a barbell instead of dumbbells. Now the next exercise that we're going to execute is called a lateral raise. Lateral raises actually add muscle to your side deltoids. Now remember, whenever you do any movements that increase the width of the shoulder, that gives you the illusion of having a narrow waist. And that's always a great thing to have. Now remember, when you execute this movement, you want to keep your core tight, back straight. You're going to raise the dumbbells up, but you're not going to go too high because you don't want to put any unnecessary stress on your shoulder joints. Okay? Now, another modification of this same movement is to bring the dumbbells up and then kind of tilt them forward. This is going to put a nice little stress on your side deltoid muscles and really force them to grow. All right? Let's see what that looks like actually holding a pair of dumbbells. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the dumbbells, get them in place, and I'm going to execute the movement. Again, core tight, back straight. I'm pressing it against the bench. Now remember, this movement can also be done standing. I've elected to do it seated because whenever you're sitting down and executing the movement, your form tends to be better, so you can limit the amount of weights that you're using and you can concentrate on form. All right? Let's get after it. All right, so you're just going to raise the dumbbells up and out. Make sure you execute this movement in a nice, controlled fashion. Now, one of the other things that you can do when executing this movement is to actually pause at the top portion of the movement, and that's going to put a little bit of extra stress on that muscle. Just like that. Good. See that? That's really putting a lot of strain on those side or medial delts. Now, another thing that you can do when executing the movement with the dumbbells is to actually tip the dumbbell forward. And what I mean by that is, when you're executing the movement, you're going to act like you're pouring out a glass of water at the top portion of the movement. This is going to also add a little bit of additional stress and strain to the muscle. It kind of really helps give you a good pump. Let me show you what that looks like. Grab the dumbbells once again at your side, and then you're going to come up, and then at the top part of the movement, you're actually going to tilt the dumbbells forward, just like if you were pouring out a glass of water. And again, that's going to give you a nice pump in that area. And it kind of forces you to kind of pause at the top part of the movement anyway. All right, the next movement that we're going to do is called the front raise, and that's going to work the frontal deltoids. I'm going to hold the dumbbells with my palms facing forward, and all I'm going to do is raise them directly in front of me, like this. Okay, now the great thing about this exercise, once again, this could be done seated or standing. And there are some other modifications that you can do. For example, I can execute that same movement with my palms facing behind me, and as I bring them up and in front of me, I gently rotate my hands so that my palms end up palms up. Let me show you what that looks like. There's a gentle rotation, and then I bring them up. Again, that's going to cause me to have a nice little burn on those frontal delts. Now with these, you could actually go a little bit above shoulder, a little bit above parallel to ground, and what that's going to do is put more stress on that muscle. I don't think that necessarily puts you in a dangerous situation as far as causing damage to the shoulder region, but once again, you just want to be careful. All right, now some people prefer to have a palms in grip, and that's fine as well. And palms facing each other, and you simply just bring the dumbbells up like this. Okay? Definitely try all of those movements, see which one you prefer, see which one gives you the best stimulation for those frontal delts. Now, another way that you can execute this same movement for your frontal raises is to actually lie down on a bench, and then you can just bring those dumbbells straight up in the air. So now we're going to train the rear delts. You're going to simply bend forward, back straight, core tight, and you're going to bring the weights out directly on the side of you like you're getting ready to fly away. Okay? This is going to work your rear delts. Now, I'm using the palms in grip there, but you can also use the palms facing behind your grip and go out to the side. Now, what you're going to find is that that causes even greater stimulation of that rear delt. Finally, you're going to do what looks like a rolling motion. Again, palms facing behind you, and you're going to just simply bring the dumbbells up and towards your neck. Now, be real careful because you need to have those dumbbells relatively close to your neck to make sure that you're working the rear delts instead of your back. All right, and there you have it. Now, if you want to train the trapezoid muscle and you want to create a slight overload, instead of using dumbbells, you can use an easy curl bar or a straight bar. Movement is going to be the same. You're going to bring that bar up as high as you can. And you can, again, use a close grip like I'm using right now. Or you can use a wider grip. And again, this is going to stimulate those side delts as well as your traps. And there you have it. That concludes our Fitness on Demand shoulder training session. Remember, a couple quick points. You want to work all three heads of the shoulder: front, side, and rear. That'll give you a more balanced appearance. So remember, train smart. Use moderate weights, get full contraction, and you'll be able to build some great shoulders. Thank you for joining us on today's session on shoulder training with Fitness on Demand.